Thank you all for coming to order. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Fort Collins City Council regular meeting of May 13, 2025 in the Linda Hartloff Chambers at Fort Collins City Hall. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silent reflection for those protecting and serving our country.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gillum,
Present.
Margaret Phillips,
Present.
Richard Morgan,
Should I be far away from you, present?
Smith Rowe, Avery Robinson,
Present.
Pat Hovis,
Here.
Jerry Trolley,
Here.
Kathy Case.
Here. Thank you. Council, you previously received the April 22, 2025 regular meeting minutes and the May 7, 2025 special meeting minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Madam President, I move for approval of the minutes for both meetings, the 22nd and the 7th of May.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, second by Mr. Trolley to approve the minutes from the April 22, 2025 regular meeting and the May 7, 2025 special meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. The chair notes that certification has been made regarding compliance with the rules and notifications of this meeting. We have no guest presentation, no public comment. Move on to executive officers' reports. Council, this evening, there is a new resolution. It's 25-4. It is time sensitive. It will not be assigned to a committee, and Mr. Velo will discuss it when it comes to his time. Also, there will be a special meeting in this chambers tomorrow night, May 14th at 6 p.m. That is all I have. Move on to the mayor.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, members of council. Hope you're all enjoying this lovely summer-like weather. If you don't know, we are in the midst of the biggest week in American birding, which runs from the 9th to the 18th of May. Some estimated 60,000 people from all 50 states, and as Mr. Colston and I learned, all 7 continents. Yes, there's someone here from Argentina, are in Antarctica. Yeah. I knew that. There might be somebody here from Argentina as well. Who knows? Are here to celebrate the birds in the area. Mr. Colson and I had the opportunity to participate in the Bird Ohio Day festivities out there this past Friday. That was very educational when I learned there were people coming from Argentina. Fish Ohio Day, well, since we're talking about Ohio Days, Fish Ohio Day will be July 16th. We are looking for someone to go fishing to represent the city, because obviously it can't be me, for a variety of reasons. So if anyone in this room is interested, let us know and we'll make that happen. Council, sometime this week, the 100 block of Madison Street, in preparation for the district and all the events in downtown, will be blocked off. The first entertainment will take place on Thursday the 22nd. We're still a little up in the air as to when the street will be blocked off. They're a little short-staffed in the service department. The brush pickup is going on this week. There's lots of mowing with all the grass and sunshine, but expect that sometime this week. The Walleye Festival is obviously next week. The ride passes are available at the Chamber of Commerce office for $75 each. Anyone in the community can contact the Chamber of Commerce at 419-734-5503. Again, 734-5503. Or stop by their office at 110 Madison Street to get those passes while they last. There are a limited number. And all of the proceeds from those go right back into the Chamber of Commerce for their activities in the area. Of course, as many of you know, because some of you have sent me messages, 'tis the season for grass holes, weed warriors, and living room lawns. Again, just a reminder to those in the community, we are trying our darndest to make sure our streets don't get full of grass debris. Our lawns are mowed, and please don't put anything out on the curb other than the normal refuge unless you've made arrangements with the service provider to pick those items up. Council, we're right at the start of something very special to me and in the community as well economically. The exchange visitors are starting to come into the area. Those are the kids that come from overseas. There's just a couple dozen here right now, but By the first part of July, we're expecting about 650 plus in the Port Clinton, Catawba, Marblehead, Put-in Bay area, 60% on the island, 40% here. So if you see those kids, they're all college age, again, from all over the world, and yes, I know there are some from Argentina. Please welcome them, talk to them, they love to speak English. So just to welcome them, and that encourages them to come back and bring their friends back in future years. Tomorrow is Ottawa County Law Enforcement Memorial Day. Chief Scott, Mr. Colston, and myself will be attending a ceremony in Elmore tomorrow representing the city. And then next Wednesday, the Port Clinton Kiwanis Club is celebrating their annual Officer and Deputy of the Year ceremony at the regular scheduled Wednesday Kiwanis meeting. Again, if anyone in this room is interested in attending that, let me know. You can be my guest at that Kiwanis meeting. You know, we talk about the importance of paying taxes in the community, because obviously the general fund that supports everything we do in the community. Through the efforts of Mrs. Shanker here in the law office, our tax commissioner, with the assistance of municipal court, they have been working diligently to ensure that past non-filers are tracked down. And as a matter of fact, over the past several months, working from 2017 to 2022, soon they'll be going into 23 and 24, but in those years I mentioned, 17 to 22, 6 individuals in the community that have not filed their taxes have spent anywhere from 1 to 3 days in jail as a result of non-filing. Paying is one thing, make sure you file. These guys are making sure those things happen. We don't like to see that happen, but it's just part of the process. And again, you don't get thrown into jail on the 16th of April. There are a lot of things that need to happen, a lot of meetings missed, a lot of court dates missed, before the judge finally says, okay, enough's enough, let's get this taken care of. As you all know, since you tried to get here today, the county water project is back in action. They were waiting on a valve that had been back ordered for 5-6 weeks. It literally arrived today by UPS, so they started work. At all costs, try to avoid that intersection of Buckeye and State right now, just because it is a mess. Daytime and even in the evening when they're not working. Just avoid that like you can. Folks, in front of you, you received earlier today, delivered to your home through email. There was information pertaining to the acquisition of real estate property in downtown Port Clinton by the city of Port Clinton. That's the purpose of tomorrow night's special city council meeting. I would ask that you take tonight to review that information. Give us a call if you have any questions. We'll discuss that in greater detail tomorrow evening. And finally, just want to wish everybody a safe and happy and Memorial Day weekend. Remember why we celebrate at that time. So, and thank you for those in this room that have served our country. With that, Madam President, unless anyone has any questions, that concludes my report for this evening.
Are they going to start turning off the lights after Memorial Day then?
Yes.
Okay.
We're scheduled for the 29th.
Okay.
Move on to the auditor's report, Mr. Bealow.
Thank you, Madam President. Council, good to be with you this evening. Happy to talk about the resolution that the President of Council mentioned up for its first reading tonight. And refer you to pass it tonight for a payroll and pension issue in the Auditor's Office pertaining to the Fire Department. Under correspondence, and I provided via email to all of Council, the ARPA final report, coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds that we had since 2021 that expounds upon the multiple projects, expenditures that we had for the variety of activities that the city used for those funds, including wastewater treatment plant, capital equipment, which I think was one of the first expenditures, a good amount of fire department expenditures that otherwise we wouldn't have been able to prioritize and fund in the past 3 years. Happy to answer any questions you have about that. I believe that is all I have for this evening. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Bealow? Okay, we'll move on to the law director's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I just echo what Mr. Bealow indicated, that does need to be passed on first reading, so leave it at that. And also, just to follow up on what the mayor indicated, with the failing to file the tax returns, Ms. Bryan and I started that last year. and we're well into this year, and we do not see an end. There's no light at the end of the tunnel, so we're gonna keep going until we finish 17 through 22, and then we'll do 23, and then we'll do 24. But just to let you know, it's a misdemeanor of the 3rd degree if you fail to file your taxes, which you could sit up to 90 days in jail. The court has been gracious and has not given jail time for people who actually come into sentencing, but they can. So basically, if you get served with a failure to file and you can come into the city and get that resolved prior to you entering a no contest or guilty plea, the city has also been gracious and has dismissed those cases, and then the individual just needs to pay the court costs associated, which ranges between like $85 and $120. So just file your paperwork and talk to the city if you need help with that. That's all I have, Madam President.
Okay, thank you. Anyone have any questions? Law Director? Okay. Mr. Poston, Safety Service Director?
Mrs. King, that was the 27th, they're gonna start on the lights.
Oh, awesome, thank you.
So I said 29, I was wrong there. No, just have a happy and safe Memorial weekend. The crowds are picking up already and the roads are getting busier, so be safe out there.
Okay, city staff, committee reports. Finance, Ms. Novus?
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Environment, Public Works, Mr. Chiroli.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Safety Services, Ms. Phillips?
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Economic and Community Development, Ms. Gilman?
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. We'll move on to correspondence. On the correspondence, we have the Architectural Review Board, April 10, 2025 meeting minutes. Planning Commission, April 10, 2025 meeting minutes. Ohio Department of Liquor Control, Booze and Screws, DBA, Bassett's Hardware and City Market. Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Funds Final Report. Does council wish to take any action as to the correspondence?
Madam, I was gonna ask the same thing. Has anybody complained about the liquor control one?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
No.
Madam President,
Yes.
I move we waive our right to a hearing on the liquor control for Booze and Screws, DBA Bassett's Hardware and City Market.
Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Trulli. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Gilman, second by Mr. Trulli to waive any hearing related to the Department of Liquor Control, Booze and Screws, DBA, Bassett's Hardware and City. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
No problems with it.
Pat Hovis. Yes. Avery Robinson,
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Does council take any further action as to the correspondence?
Madam President, I move that the rest of the correspondence listed here be accepted as is.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Hovis. Any discussion? I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, second by Mrs. Hovis to approve the correspondence as stated. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. Correspondence are hereby adopted. Move on to readings of ordinances and resolution. Under third reading, would the clerk please read by title and summary only ordinance 17-25.
Ordinance number 17-25, an ordinance amending chapter 921 of the Fort Clinton Codified Ordinances and declaring an emergency.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to ordinance 17-25?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolling?
make a motion that we retain the emergency clause in ordinance 17-25.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Any discussion? We have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Ms. Hovis to retain the emergency clause as to ordinance 17-25. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Avery Robinson,
Yes.
Pat Hovis. Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The emergency clause is hereby retained as to ordinance 17-25. Does council wish to take any further action as to ordinance 17-25?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley?
make a motion that we adopt ordinance 17-25.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Second. Any discussion? I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Mrs. Hovis, to adopt ordinance 17-25. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Kathy King,
Yes.
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Avery Robinson,
Yes.
Richard Morgan,
Yes.
Pat Hovis. Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Ordinance 17-25 is hereby adopted. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only resolution 25-3?
Resolution 25-3, a resolution to appropriate funds for the purpose of decoration of graves, conducting memorial services, and otherwise engaging in activities appropriate for the celebration of Memorial Day 2025.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to resolution 25-3?
Madam President,
Mr. Jolie.
I make a motion that we adopt resolution 25-3.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Ms. Hovis. Any discussion? We have a motion by Mr. Trolley, second by Mrs. Hovis, to adopt resolution 25-3. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Margaret Phillips,
Yes.
Beth Gilman,
Yes.
Avery Robinson,
Yes.
Pat Hovis. Kathy King,
Yes.
Richard Morgan, Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Resolution 25-3 is hereby adopted. We have no second readings. Move on to first readings. Will the clerk please read by title and summary only, resolution 25-4?
Resolution 25-4, a resolution of the City of Port Clinton establishing a new pickup plan for the eligible employees of the City of Port Clinton Fire Department.
Thank you. Does council wish to take any action as to resolution 25-4?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley.
make a motion that we waive the 3 required readings of resolution 25-4.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Thank you, Mrs. Davis. Any discussion?
Yes. Madam President, could you explain it, Mr. Beal? I'm,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, it's for employer contributions into the fire pension fund. Now that the fire department is full-time paid professionals, it allows for there to be a retirement program for them.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But are we paying both halves? Is that what's going on here?
It's consistent with what the police does and with the Teamsters contract we provide, of course, nothing different or above.
Okay.
Perfect.
Further questions?
Well, I was just, like, I guess I just don't understand 100% what it means. Like, it says that they have to take a salary reduction? Or, like, the section 2,
So just to let you know, there is a template which all municipalities need to follow, and that is verbatim from the template.
okay.
So it's something that,
Are we decreasing their salary?
well, they have to pay their portion of the contribution. That's where
Okay.
that's where it is. I mean,
No,
so, like,
there's no net decrease in pay. It only accommodates for the pension portion of it. And the law director's right, this was something that Ohio Police and Pension Fund provided and says this is how it is to be. And the fire department is aware and the chief endorses it as well.
So
that was
they'll
part
still
of the
get the
plan.
same pay? Okay, that's all I was worried about.
Okay, so like, when I was a teacher, I think it was like 9% of my salary I paid into retirement, and the board matched it with 12 or 15. So what we're doing is reducing, the board's covering both halves, but reducing their pay by the amount that it's covering?
It's a net wash in the end, yeah.
And the reason for that is?
That's how the state requires it to be. I don't like the language necessarily, and I understand why Ms. Henning, you are asking the question, but, yeah,
It's SOP. Yeah.
standard operating.
Yeah, exactly.
You could add a couple more letters to that.
I didn't know
Was that an age appropriate statement? I don't know. I got a generation on you, Gabe, so I don't know.
I once had an employer that had SOPs we had to follow.
Okay.
I had to dig back in the memory banks for that.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
The full-time firefighters will be taken care of, that's what this allows for.
All right, that's fine.
Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, seconded by Ms. Hovis, to waive the 3 required readings as to resolution 25-4. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Avery Robinson.
Yes.
Pat Hovis. Yes. Kathy King.
Yes.
Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries by a vote of 7-0. The 3 required readings as to resolution 25-4 are hereby waived. Does council wish to take any further action as to resolution 25-4?
Madam President,
Mr. Trolley.
make a motion that we adopt resolution 25-4.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, I have a motion by Mr. Trolley, second by Mrs. Hovis, to adopt resolution 25-4. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Beth Gilman.
Yes.
Margaret Phillips.
Yes.
Richard Morgan.
Yes.
Avery Robinson.
Yes.
Pat Hovis. Yes. Jerry Trolley.
Yes.
Kathy King.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries by a vote of 7-0. Resolution 25-4 is hereby adopted. We'll move on to business from the floor. Mr. Morgan?
Yeah, speaking of birds, a friend of mine who came in town last week to, I guess it was the preview of the bird week, and for what it's worth, anybody wants to see birds, he said at his last week, there were more out of East Harbor than there were out there. Now, the birds know their schedule, and I know that, I'm sure they've seen the ads, so they come there when it was, but at least for that week, he said he saw a lot more birds than there were, he was the only one there. So if anybody wants to look at birds and that's too crowded, go the other way. So.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson? Thank you. Ms. Phillips?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hovis?
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Mr. Trolley?
Just one question, will Erie hit their deadline? So, weren't they supposed to be done like May 17th or
It's
something?
22nd.
22nd,
They
okay.
say they will, and I made sure that I want it done before the holiday. Now, the road's paved and stuff,
Right.
but they will have some punch lists like curbs and things like that, which we allow that. I think that's June 1st here.
Okay.
So, June 1st on the punch list, but yeah, the road's gotta be done by the holiday.
Great. Oh, that's all I have, thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. King.
Oh, I just want to say that Arts Garage reopened and it's fantastic. If you haven't been down there, go check out the new windows. It just looks amazing.
Thank you. Ms. Gilman?
Just a congratulations to the Port Clinton grads. I saw the banners up on Perry Street, and their parade is tomorrow at noon through town. They started that during COVID, and they've continued that tradition, which is great to see. So you can get out and support them and see it. The parade route, I'm sure, is on the school website.
Yeah, I think I saw something.
That's it. Nothing else, Madam President?
Thank you. Seeing no further business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Madam President, I move this August body adjourn.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mrs. King. I have a motion by Ms. Phillips, seconded by Mrs. King to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. You are adjourned.
Be careful.